Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I welcome all of you to His Holiness Chandramauli Swami daily class. And today Maharaj will continue on Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 2, verse 24. Uh, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
My obeisances to all the devotees, Hare Krishna.
So with your permission, Maharaj, I will share the screen.
Mhm.
Over to you, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Manesaram Bhagavatam Srayadise Sarambhamargam Vinivrista Yasam Yuge Chaksata Tarksya Putram Amse Sunam Vadyudam Apatantam. I consider the demons who are mimical towards the Lord to be more than the devotees because while fighting with the Lord, absorbed in thoughts of enmity, they are able to see the Lord carried on the shoulder of Garuda, the son of Tarksha, Kashyapa, and carrying the wheel weapon in his hand. The Asuras who fought against the Lord face to face got salvation due to being killed by the Lord. This salvation of the demons is not due to their being devotees of the Lord. It is because of the Lord's causeless mercy. Anyone who is slightly in touch with the Lord somehow or other is greatly benefited, even to the point of salvation, due to the excellence of the Lord. He is so kind that he awards salvation to his enemies because they come into contact with him and are indirectly absorbed in him by their inimical thoughts. Actually, the demons can never be equal to the pure devotees, but Uddhava was thinking in that way because of his feelings of separation. He was thinking that at the last stage of his life, he might not be able to see the Lord face to face as the demons. The fact is that the devotees who are always engaged in devotional service of the Lord in transcendental love are rewarded many hundreds of times more than the demons by being elevated to the spiritual planets where they remain with the Lord in eternal blissful existence. The demons and the impersonalists are awarded the facility of merging into the Brahma Jyoti effulgence of the Lord, whereas the devotees are admitted into the spiritual planets. For comparison, one can just imagine the difference between floating in space and residing in one of the planets in the sky. The pleasure of the living entities on the planets is greater than those who have no body and who merge with the molecules of the sun rays. The impersonalists, therefore, are not no more favored than the enemies of the Lord. Rather, they are both on the same level of spiritual realization, salvation. Oh my God, the Shaginajana Salakaya. Machaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale. Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavai Sunyavadi Pastyatya Satarine Vachakalpatarubhischa Vipa Sindhu Pevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. So this is shows the exemplary kindness of the Lord. It's one of his most magnanimous qualities. He's very kind to all. Anyone who comes in contact with him in any way either favorably or unfavorably, benefits. This is how Krishna deals with all living entities. So Kamsa was always thinking of the Lord in fear of being killed by the Lord, and at the same time in anger by wanting to destroy the Lord. So because of his constant thought of the Lord, he was actually developing purification. And of course, he was killed by the Lord. But it's not, as Uddhava says it is that the demons are more fortunate than the devotees. As Prabhupada said, because he's feeling separation from the Lord, and he's seeing how the demons see the Lord at the last time of their life, they're more fortunate. But actually, it's just due to his mood of separation. He's thinking like that. Devotees are the most fortunate because they've served the Lord in a favorable way. And that is the way to perfection. Those who serve unfavorably or in some form of unfavorableness, they'll get some mercy. But they won't get bhakti. They'll get salvation. Bhakti is only for the devotees. And bhakti situates one in the spiritual world where liberation and salvation at any level still leaves one, what we say, in a temporary situation of freedom from suffering. But then again, after some time, they need to fall down from that position and come back to the material world. And again, develop a body and act under the influence of the material nature. But still, because of the Lord's kindness, those persons get great benefit. And so for a devotee, everything is wonderful. You want to see the Lord. You want to when they want to see the Lord, and although they can't see the Lord, still their love for the Lord is never interfered with, because in that mood of not seeing the Lord or feeling distance from the Lord, they're thinking about the Lord, praying to the Lord, and crying out for the Lord. And then actually, because the Lord is absolute, any prayers or any of his names that are being recited bring one to that consciousness of being personally present with the Lord. Unfortunately, the demons have some benediction. Not every demon gets killed by the Lord. Some do, and most don't. Those are the few very choice demons just happen to be in that place, that is, being in the place where Krishna was using his military power to conquer these inimical personalities. So that's the essence of this verse. And therefore, one should not think that they can simply do whatever they want or act in any way they want and at the same time get the full benefit of the Lord. Benefit is there for everyone who comes in contact, but to the degree, and there's a large range of degrees that lead all the way up to pure love of Krishna, where they can actually interchange with Krishna directly in a very loving way. So the devotees are the most fortunate. Because they're engaged in devotional service, although they may feel some separation, they are never separated from the Lord. Okay, maybe we can open it up for questions. Short class just focuses on the essence, the kindness of the Lord, the compassion of the Lord, the availability of the Lord. And anything done in relationship to the Lord has eternal benefit.
Thank
But
you, Maharaj.
one who actually loves the Lord will achieve the highest form of transcendental happiness.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for such enlightenment, because this is so important to really see the mercy and compassion of the Supreme Lord. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, if you have any questions, comments, realization, request you to please raise your hand, or you can type in chat window. I will try to read on your behalf. Also, my humble request to devotees, there are 29 devotees online. If you can please switch on your video. uh, Maharaj always asks for this very small request from all the devotees, if you can switch on. So this is kind of a humble request on behalf of Maharaj, if you can possibly switch on. Yes, Daria Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. So I was wondering, when the demons they get liberated, does it mean that they go to the spiritual world, or they take birth in a higher planet, or how? I don't really understand where they end up after they get killed.
We go into the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, which is the the there's three destinations that one can achieve. One can, well, actually, there's more than three, but there's basically two. One can go to the spiritual world, either in the Vaikuntha realm, where Lord Narayan is, or in the Goloka realm, where Lord Krishna is. Those places are reserved for the devotees who worship the Lord in devotion. And that means favorably. The demons, because they come in contact with the Lord, they also benefit, but they go to the Brahma Jyoti, which is the external manifestation of the Lord's transcendental body. The body of the Lord exhibits rays that cover throughout the entire universe. They merge into those rays and they experience some relief from material suffering. It's kind of a situation of peace. But because there's no happiness there, there's only peace. They cannot stay in that position. The soul wants relationships. So they don't really develop relationships in that. They just feel that this, just like if I tell you, you can go to this place, it's a very nice place, but you're all alone. You would think, what's the use? Even if it is nice, being alone is not a principle of happiness. Relationships are actually the principles of happiness. So they don't, all they do is experience this relief from material suffering and a sense of peace. And it's temporary. They come back down. What is that verse? I forgot. Aruna Krishchena Padam Padam Padanti Adam. They fall back down again to the material world to take up material activities. So it's a temporary relief of material suffering, and that's all. There's two aspects into the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord, or into the body of the Lord, either one. Most of them get what is called Sahuja Mukti, into the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord.
But it's like they become one with the Lord then, if they go into the body.
There's a no, not exactly one, no, because the Lord is distinct. He's unique. The merge into the body of the Lord doesn't mean one is actually one with the Lord. Oneness is not defined in that way. The oneness is defined in purpose. When two souls have the same purpose and they align themselves according to that purpose, that's oneness. But this oneness, or what we say, Sahuja Mukti, is not, it's temporary. It gives some temporary relief, that's all.
Sorry, just one question, but can they feel anything or just feeling peace? Like, can they feel what, for example, the Lord, are they aware?
No, they can't, they're not experienced. It's like if you're suffering and you go to sleep, you kind of stop your suffering in the sleep state. It's almost like that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's temporary. There's a verse that illustrates that. They climb high on the spiritual platform, but because they have no regard for the lotus feet of the Lord, they come back down again.
Which verse was it?
Somewhere in the 10th canto, I don't remember. I quoted the second half of the verse. Aruna Trichchena Padam Padam Padantiyada. Padantiyada means falls down again. I don't remember the first couple of lines. It's somewhere in the 10th canto.
10:14:58, Maharaj.
So what does it say?
Stamasritaye pada pallava plavam mahatpadam punya yaso murare bhavam budir vatsa padam padam param padam 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 yad vipadam natesham.
So read it.
No, it's not that. It's 10:2:32, Guru Maharaj. Arurya Krichena Param Padam Tata Patantya Donadrita Yushmad Angraha.
Yeah, that's the one.
10:2:32.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry about it.
That's another verse that's similar, but doesn't apply to anyone in specific like that verse. 10:2:32 is the one, yeah.
Okay.
As a follow-up to Daria's question, Guru Maharaj, may I ask my question, please?
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Guru Maharaj. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you. So even I'm a little curious about the position of these demons or impersonalists who have the great benediction of being personally killed by the Lord because of their inimical attitude towards the Lord. So they attain the position of being in the Brahma Jyoti. But as you said, this is not a permanent position because there's no engagement, there's no relationship, there's no exchange of love, there's nothing. So after some time, they fall down again to the material world and they have to sort of begin all over again. So in what way have they benefited from being killed by the Lord? Because they have to again start from the material world back again, isn't it?
Well, they get all their demoniac activities stopped, and that means all their sinful reactions have been purified.
Ah.
Yeah, once they're killed by the Lord, they're completely purified from all their sinful reactions, and their activities are also stopped.
So it is actually a great benediction for these demons to be killed by the Lord because their sinful reactions now are completely nullified and they can at least begin on a clean slate.
Yeah, they'll come back. Maybe they come back into the mode of goodness when they come back down.
Thank you. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for clarifying that. My obeisances.
Okay.
So, thank you, Mataji. So, while devotee asks for any further questions, Maharaj, I have one question. In one of the verse in Shrimad Bhagavatam, I'm also missing that verse, but where it's mentioned that planet of demons are higher than planet of human, like this earthly planet. I always wonder why demons planet or demons position is considered higher than the human.
Everything is based on intelligence. If you want to go to that verse, it's in the 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 5, can't remember the number, 21, 22, something like that. That's interesting. I like that interest. That's a real interesting verse. Turn to it. I think it's 21, 5, 5,
Yeah.
20.
Yes, 21, 22, Maharaj. I'm just opening.
Yeah. So you can read it. It's interesting.
Yeah, just sharing, Maharaj. Of Should I read, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Of the two energies manifest, spirit and dull matter, being possessive, being possessing living force, vegetable, grass, trees, and plants are superior to dull matter, stone, earth, etc. Superior to non-moving planet, plants and vegetables are worms and snakes, which can move. Superior to worms and snakes are animals that have developed intelligence. Superior to intelligence are human beings, and superior to human beings are ghosts because they have no material bodies. Superior to ghosts are the Gandharvas, and superior to them are Siddhas. Superior to Siddhas are the Kinnars, and superior to them are the Asuras. Superior to the Asuras are demigods, and of the demigods, Indra, the king of heaven, is supreme. Superior to Indra are the direct sons of Lord Brahma, sons like King Daksha, and supreme among Brahma's son is Lord Shiva, since Lord Shiva is the son of Lord Brahma. Brahma is considered superior, but Brahma is also subordinate to me, the supreme personality of Godhead, because I am inclined to the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are best of all.
Yeah. Well, there's the gradation. It's based on intelligence. That's all. Or consciousness. It's based on consciousness.
So even consciousness of ghost is better than human, Maharaj?
Yeah. Because the ghosts, they can control you. Certain ghosts, yeah. And there's a planet of the Asuras. The Asuras actually are born on a certain planet. You can even see today, the world is ruled by Asuras. They're very materially intelligent. They're in every aspect of society today, the Asuras. They come from higher planets, take birth on this planet, and then infiltrate into the society in different ways. And Asuras, they're called Duskritina. Their intelligence, Kritina means intelligence, Dus means that intelligence which is dangerous, or what we might say, non-beneficial. So they create atom bombs. They create wars. They can develop, robots that do things. These are all Asuras. They have higher technical knowledge. They have higher intelligence materially. They don't. Their superiority is not based on spirituality. So here it says the Brahmins are the best of all, because out of all of the living entities, the Brahmins are the highest. higher than all of the other ones mentioned. And the Brahmins are also within the material world. It has none, you don't see anything spiritual in here. It's just consciousness, that's all. Different gradations of consciousness.
Yes, thank you, Maharaj. I was actually wondering this particular verse mostly from the spiritual perspective, that how come they can be senior or superior. But now
That's
I understand. Yeah.
spiritual about this verse. It's just
Yeah.
gradations of consciousness and so.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. It's really, really
All
helpful.
demons are very intelligent, but in a material way. They know how to manipulate, they know how to control. Very intelligent. And that's why you see the world is so screwed up today, because the demons are in control. They work through different agencies to fulfill their desires. The demons like control. They thrive on control. It's a form of sense gratification to be able to controlling people, controlling things, control. It's one of the anarthas that leads the living entity to the material world, the desire to control. But devotees don't want to control anything. All they want to do is serve the Lord. And therefore they're controlled by the Lord. And therefore they're free from all other forms of control because they're controlled by the Lord. They don't try to control, they simply try to serve them. And that gives them freedom from all other forms of control, because they're controlled by Krishna. Krishna takes care of them, and no one can control them unless they allow it, of course. So this is all about consciousness, not about spirituality. Different levels of consciousness.
Thank you, Maharaj. So, devotee, if you have any other questions, comments, great opportunity to ask from the Maharaj.
I have a question actually
Yes, please,
regarding.
Mataji.
Yeah, thank you.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
So when we have this like controlling mentality, for example, that we think that we are in the control of our future or we make plans, is that considered a demoniac quality or?
It's not favorable to spiritual life. It's not demoniac, that's for sure. Everyone is thinking like that. It's just it's the element of the mode of passion, that's all.
Mhm. And how can we change that mentality? Is it when we are in Sattva Guna?
Raise your consciousness to the mode of goodness, and then you can practice Krishna consciousness properly. As long as you're in the mode of passion, you can't really practice Krishna consciousness properly, because you're controlled by that energy, which is that energy is selfish. One is seeing themselves as the center, and one works in such a way as to fulfill their own desires. Mode of goodness is somewhat free from that. There's still a little bit personal interest in there, but the interest is on higher consciousness, not base material consciousness, where I have to get money, I have to get sex life, I have to get power, I have to get position, I have to, do something to gain some material success in this world. That's the mode of passion. Most people in this world are under the mode of passion. The world works under passion and ignorance, both. But mostly passion. When it becomes fully demoniac, then it falls into the mode of ignorance. When it becomes pious activities, then it's in the mode of goodness. but still a desire for personal gain in the mode of goodness. But the qualities of the mode of goodness are the qualities that one needs to adopt in order to practice Krishna consciousness. Simplicity, truthfulness, cleanliness, austerity, equanimity, wisdom, knowledge. These are the tolerance. These are the qualities of the mode of goodness. But they're still material unless you engage them in devotional service. Then you go beyond the mode of goodness into what is called Sudasattva, pure goodness. That's transcendental, that's devotional service. So everyone's encouraged to go from the lower modes to the highest mode, and then from there practice Krishna consciousness.
So it's okay if we think that not that we are in control, but if we try to plan for the future, something that's in Krishna consciousness, then it's not that we feel that we are in control.
Spiritual future, yeah.
Okay,
well, you can
thank
also,
you.
if you're married, you also make plans to somehow or other fortify your needs on the household level, but you don't make big, gorgeous plans. These gorgeous plans, you just get absorbed in plan making and always adjusting your plans. The idea is take shelter of Krishna, engage in devotional service. He will take care of you. You try to understand that point. You're trying to take care of yourself. That's the problem. If you want to take care of yourself, put yourself under Krishna. And then you're taking care of yourself in the best way, because when he takes care of you, you are taken care of.
Thank you.
I say that to devotees who have material desires. Forget about your material desires, just serve the Lord. And then if these material desires are necessary for your livelihood in the material world, then Krishna will grant those. He'll do it. He'll arrange it. He likes to serve his devotees when devotees surrender to him, and he takes care of them. The problem is we think we can take care of ourselves. And we make big plans, and we wind up always changing our plans anyway. Okay, it's easy.
I hope you got the answer, Mataji.
With the care of the Supreme Lord, what other care do you need?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Vrindavan. Guru Maharaj, as you're answering Daria Mataji's question, some more questions are coming to my mind. When we are trying to move from the mode of passion to the mode of goodness, and say we've reached the mode of goodness, now we are trying to purify even that. What are the pitfalls, even in the mode of goodness, that we have to look out for so that we don't so that we keep proceeding towards Shuddha Sattva?
Well, some of the qualities is there is a sense of happiness in the mode of goodness. And one may get attached to that happiness. There's a sense of knowledge that manifests in the mode of goodness. And one thinks that knowledge is sufficient. So one can get stuck there. That's piety. Piety means doing beneficial work for others on the material world. opening up hospitals, feeding the poor, educating the illiterate, working for the benefit of others in a material way. That's the mode of goodness. One, that we also call it, what do we call it? We call it, what kind of work is that? Philanthropic work, yeah.
But one comes to the mode of goodness and is using those abilities and resources, etc., to serve the Lord, then one is even purifying oneself from the mode of goodness and will slowly reach Shuddha Sattva.
Yeah, you can't use the qualities of the mode of passion in the service of the Lord. There's only one quality that's in the mode of passion that can be used in the service of the Lord. All the other qualities will keep you in the material world. And then what is that one quality in the mode of passion? Creativity. That's the only quality you can use in the mode of passion. But creativity, using your creative intelligence to serve the Lord. Otherwise, the modes of goodness is conducive because all of the qualities can be engaged in the service of the Lord. That's why it says here in that verse, the Brahmins are the highest because they're in the mode of goodness.
How do we know we are moving from mode of goodness to Shuddha Sattva? What will be the signs and symptoms?
Just ask me and I'll tell you. Most people don't want to ask. If you're becoming kind, you're becoming generous, you're becoming free from fault finding, you're becoming free from anger, you're not disturbed by happiness and distress, you become very charitable, you take pleasure in activities that are, you take pleasure in the activities of devotional service. It's mostly freeing yourself from the activities of passion.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. My obeisances.
Well, the passion is this competitive spirit to gain a position or to gain some material things. People are fighting for the things that belong to the Lord. Anger, greed is in the mode of ignorance. Lust is in the mode of passion. That's why Prabhupada's program was to raise people to the mode of goodness and then teach them how to use those qualities in the mode of goodness in devotional service. Yeah. Well, those qualities, just you're going to read them in the Bhagavad Gita, they're there. Eighteenth chapter, verse number 41. Qualities of the mode of goodness. And you'll see in the 17th chapters, there's happiness in the mode of goodness. There's charity in the mode of goodness. There's determination in the mode of goodness. These are different qualities And they also can be in any of the three modes. You read the 17th chapter, there's a lot of those different qualities that can be there. It's described in each of the three modes. This is the qualities of the mode of goodness here. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. Go to the 17th chapter. I'm not exactly sure of the exact verses. Go to towards the beginning of the chapter. 17.
Yes, Maharaj.
Keep going. Yeah, there's food in the mode, three kinds of food, and sacrifice in the different modes. Yeah, say just for instance, go to verse 11. Sacrifice performed according to the directions of the scriptures as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is the nature of goodness. Keep that other listing up. Don't go to the translations here. Go for the previous listing you had. Yeah. Sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride should be known as the mode of passion. Sacrifice performed without regard for directions of the scriptures, without distribution of prasadam, without chanting of the Vedic hymns, no remuneration, without faith is in the mode of ignorance. Austerity in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, satisfaction in these three. Yeah, the threefold austerities, penance, all of these different qualities are performed in different modes. To learn the ones in the mode of goodness. That's all. Everything's there in Bhagavad Gita. We have to read Bhagavad Gita, and then you know everything. So the
Mataji,
quality of goodness can be used in the service of the Lord, but not in the other two modes. No.
I hope this
Okay.
answers your question, Mataji. Shri Mataji. So, Raj Prabhu, please go ahead.
Thank you, Vrindavan Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Maharaj, I have a follow-up question on Mataji's question that when we are engaged in managerial services, it is an essential part to make plans, to control or to try to manage people. So initially, our intention is to serve Krishna through that service because that service belongs to ISKCON or Krishna. But eventually, we have this subtle desire to fulfill our material tendency, maybe getting fame, maybe getting recognition for our services. How do we get rid of that tendency?
Don't do it, that's all. If you're playing their game, so you have to play the game according to how they set it up. How can you get out of it by playing their same game? You can't. If you want to work for a company, you have to work accordingly. If you want to do anything material, there's ways of doing it. But that's the material world. So how to get out of it means get out of it. Stop playing that game and get into spiritual life. Or a compromise principle is become a devotee and take up some occupation in the material world, but use that occupation to serve the Lord. That's it.
But sometimes we are working in our own farm communities within the organization. When we start some services, we initially start with the intention of pleasing Krishna, but eventually we have the subtle tendencies to get fame, to get recognition out of those services. How do we?
You need that. But in devotional service, the pay is transcendental knowledge and ultimate happiness and freedom from material suffering. That's the pay. So you can't mix material and spiritual and expect to apply the principles of both to each one. It's not the same. It's opposite. Spiritual is for Krishna and it's free from personal, and material is all about me. Yeah, the difference. It's called fruitive activities. When you're engaged in fruitive activities, you're under the influence of the material energy. Devotional service is free from fruitive activities. You don't try to gain anything material from devotional service. You simply try to serve. And you get elevated in consciousness, and you get freedom from all of the material sufferings. Mm-hmm. And you develop your relationship with Krishna, which is the ultimate principle of happiness. What is night for the conditioned soul is time of awakening for the self-realized soul. And what is time of awakening for the self-realized soul is night for the conditioned soul. Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. The birds, two kinds of birds, crows and swans. The crows don't go with the swans, and the swans don't go with the crows. Spiritual people associate with others of the same activity and qualities, and material people do the same within their categories. Two opposite principles of the life. One is about me, the other one is about Krishna, which is the ultimate benefit of one's own self. Because the self is not the body, the self is the soul. Take care of the body and engage in devotional services. But live according to your needs, not beyond. That way you have more time and energy and focus on spiritual life. Two different worlds. Can't mix them.
I hope, Raj Prabhu, you got the answer.
Yeah, thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Don't get discouraged. you're going for your education, get your education and use you use that knowledge to serve the Lord. Don't use it for some material gain. Use it to serve the Lord. The knowledge is coming from the Lord anyway, even though it's secular knowledge, because He's the source of everything, material and spiritual. Get married and have a family, that's called grihastha life. There's two things, grihamedi and grihastha. Grihamedi means selfishness, and grihastha means devotional family. Okay, Vrinavanath.
Yes, Maharaj, there are three, in fact, four questions in the chat. I will go one by one. First
Yeah.
one from Ras Vilasni Radha Mataji.
I'm only
She,
gonna, we have 6 more minutes, that's all we have.
sorry, Maharaj, I missed. So,
But we have about 15 more minutes, and that's where we have to cut it off.
yeah, sure. So she's asking, as Maharaj said about seeing the Lord, I feel the deity form is especially merciful because we can see him for as long as we want. But when we think about seeing him directly in person, sometimes feels like there is a waiting list. We can stand before the deity and behold them with full satisfaction, peacefully and without limitation, compared to seeing him physically. Is it right to think like this, Maharaj? Please correct me if I am wrong.
You mean if Krishna comes before you, you're gonna tell him to take the form of a deity because it's nicer? That doesn't make sense. No. Any way you can come in contact with Krishna, directly or indirectly, through the deity, through the holy name, it's all wonderful. Why make a comparison? What is the need for comparing? Before, if you somehow come in contact with Krishna in one way or another, you consider yourself very, very blessed and fortunate. No need to compare one way or the other is better or worse. Just be happy that you were able to come in contact with the Lord. That's wonderful.
Thank you, Maharaj. There is another question from Rajesh Prabhu. He is asking, as explained, the liberation achieved by impersonalists by merging into Brahma Jyoti is temporary, as
I
they
did.
eventually,
Hmm?
sorry, Maharaj,
Keep going.
yeah, as they eventually fall back due to the absence of devotional service. If that is so, may I kindly understand why impersonalist, uh, so just a minute, Maharaj, I'm just, why impersonalists so aim for this type of liberation, even though they will have to return again to the material world? Why do impersonalists work so hard when they don't even achieve the goal of liberation? Your
They
servant, Brajhari Das.
don't understand what is the goal. That's why they create they accept that as the goal, but it's not. It's just one aspect. It's elevation above the material, but it's not the goal. The goal is to develop a loving relationship with Krishna by serving Krishna in his different forms, person to person. There's no personal relationship there. Hmm. It's like sometimes people want to have a relationship with something material, like their car, their house, their computer. But there's no reciprocation between these things because they're not sentient. In the spirit, in the Brahma Jyoti, there is no, you're alone. Prabhupada says you're by yourself there. I tell you what Prabhupada said. He said, if I tell you here, you come to this place, you sit down, it's a very peaceful and happy place, and you just be here by yourself. Would you think that was a good success? That's what they're getting. There's no relationship there. Therefore, because there's no relationship, there's no ananda. There's no happiness, real happiness, and therefore the soul hankers for that. And therefore, in order to fulfill that need, they come back down.
Guru Maharaj, then why choose this goal?
Yeah,
If
because
it's not even.
they don't understand the real goal. They don't believe that they even if they hear about the personal form of the Lord, they don't accept it. They think that the impersonal aspect of the Lord is the supreme destination because they have a wrong understanding. Person brings impersonal, just like you have your form, your person, but then you have your energy all around you, which you use to carry out activities in your life. That's your energy. They're interested in the energy, not in the person. That's it. They're what we say, what is it? Rita Gyan, their intelligence is destroyed. They're crippled intelligence. Accepting something that is limited as being the highest. Because they don't want to worship the personality of Godhead. Because they don't want to follow what he says. Prabhupada says, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. We don't say you can do anything you want and become spiritual. We don't say that. That's what they want. They want to do whatever they want and attain some kind of spiritual perfection, which you can't do. Material energy works in a certain way. You have to get out of that control. And how to get out, you can get out of it in different ways, but if you don't get out of it in the complete way, still you have to come back. It's like going to jail. It's like committing a crime, going to jail, getting freed from the jail after some time, and then going back to jail again. Our relationship is with Krishna, the personality of Godhead. That is the soul's relationship. All souls have an eternal relationship with the personality of Godhead, not his inner spiritual energy. Personality. We are persons. We can only be happy in relationship with other persons. And that supreme person is the source of all happiness in all relationships. It's all about relationship. There's no relationship in the Brahma Jyoti.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I mean, this point that we have a relationship with the Lord, it's all about relationship is so important.
Yeah, it's all about, it's person to person. I'm so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana, masastastani indriyani prakriti stani karshan. All living beings are my parts and parcels. They belong to me. They're in me. Me, not my energy. Okay. Amritanam.
Yeah, Amritnath Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, a quick follow-up of what you were just telling. Jivas, these are ignorant jivas, what we are talking, because that is why they.
Sorry, I can't hear you. It's not clear.
Hare Krishna. This
Yeah.
is just a quick follow-up, Guru Maharaj.
You
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
You have to speak really slow or else it breaks up.
Okay. So this is a quick follow-up, Guru Maharaj, a clarification. The ignorance of the jivas who are not able to take up this knowledge, is it because of the sins they have created, sins they have done before, or is it because of the choice they are making of not choosing Krishna?
Choice is based on the level of our understanding. And our understanding is fueled by our activities and desires. Two people can see the same thing and define it in two different ways because of the different types of consciousness. That's all. Why doesn't everybody think the same? Because everyone is under the influence of the material energy in a slightly different way. Yeah, so their sinful activities or wrong desires create their consciousness.
Yes. Yes, Guru Maharaj. So the sins also is the wrong desire which they are doing. The desire is wrong.
Everyone in the material world has to commit sin. There's no one free from sin.
Yeah.
Because they're acting under the influence of the most material nature. That's why. Even people who are in a mode of goodness, they also commit sin. And then they fall from the mode of goodness. That's why that's also unstable. King Nirga, he was in the mode of goodness. He made a little mistake in some ritual, and it caused him to fall from that position, and he had to take birth as a lizard. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Unless you go to the transcendental platform, you're still under the influence of material energy, and therefore you have to commit sin, either small or large, depending on what mode you're connected with. The material world is the way it is. It's there to entrap you into a type of activity which forces you to continue the same activity, and you get the same results over and over again. But because you're attached to that activity, you can't break the cycle.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. So the again the matter comes to the choice that since we are not making the choice of being transcendental, if we are automatically into material world, and material world has to have sin.
Giving everyone the choice. Everyone has a chance to come to his spiritual life, but how many are taking it?
Yeah.
How many are exposed to it and take it? How many are exposed to it and don't take it? It's up to the individual based on their consciousness, conditioning, and value system that they have created. If they can't see the benefit of it, so therefore we don't really give them much philosophy. We just tell them chant. If they chant for a while, they can get a little bit of purification, then they can start to understand. But before then, they can't understand anything because they're covered.
Okay, thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, I think I'm sorry, but
Thank you, Maharaj. Mataji, Maharaj, there is one question from Sarmishta Mataji. Shri Mataji, if it's okay with you, on the chat, I will just go with that question. And Mataji asking, as a follow-up question to yesterday's class, it was mentioned that the spiritual master also finds out the disciple. Is it my correct understanding? If yes, then how does it happen, Guru Maharaj?
what's the question again? The spiritual master.
It was mentioned that the spiritual master also finds out the disciple.
Finds out?
Yeah, the disciple.
No, the spiritual, if she's talking about coming in contact with the spiritual master, that's arranged by Krishna. Says when you're looking for Krishna, Krishna sends you the spiritual master. He sends you. Then you have to recognize, that's all. He's not canvassing for disciples. He's just preaching and people are coming to him. That's all. Spiritual master doesn't try to make disciples. He tries to give transcendental knowledge, and those who become serious, they become his disciple.
I hope it answers your question, Sharmishta Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu Maharaj. Yes,
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah, just keep practicing Krishna consciousness, and when you reach a certain stage, Krishna will send you the spiritual master. Krishna does that.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, so I have to go. Sorry about
Yes.
that.
It's also quarter past, Maharaj, so quite close to the clock. So thank you very much for so enlightening class, Maharaj. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Brind ki jai.
Or Premanande, Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari Bol.
Hari Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
Guru Maharaj. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Guru
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Hari Hari. We'll see you all. Tomorrow is Monday. Over this Bhagavatam class.
Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.